So Emily, there's somebody in the waiting room that says JCCAC Advocacy. Any idea who that is?
No, Your Honor.
I'm letting everybody in with the last name Jones. I'm assuming they're all here for this hearing. Mr. Kane, are you expecting anyone else?
No, Your Honor. Corey McCord, I don't know where he is. I don't have a full screen necessarily.
I've got an iPhone. Let me see who that is. Doesn't look like Corey. So I just let someone in that's just identified as iPhone. What is your name, sir?
Oh, sorry. It's Brian Jones, sir.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I let you in.
I don't know who's who here.
There's Mr. McCord. As soon as we make a connection, we'll go on the record. Okay, Shannon, put us on the record, please.
Yep.
So this is the matter of Donald Gene Jones. We have a conservatorship and a guardianship. Counsel, would you both state your appearances, please?
Corey McCord on behalf of the petitioners for guardianship and conservatorship.
John Kane, guardian ad litem for Donald Gene Jones.
Okay, and we're still waiting for David Jones to make an audio connection. So as soon as that has happened, we will move forward with the hearing. Okay, David Jones, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so also present is Don Jones, Jeffrey Jones, and I'm sorry, on the iPhone, I didn't write your name down. State your name.
Brian.
Brian Jones. Go ahead, Mr. McCord.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're here for an appointment of a petition for guardianship and conservatorship. The proposed guardian is Brian Jones. The proposed conservator is Don Jones. I would note for the court that Brian Jones is currently the medical power of attorney patient advocate, and Don Jones is currently the financial power of attorney. As you can see by the report of physician, the ward, Mr. Jones, is in need of a guardianship and a conservatorship. He's been diagnosed with dementia, unable to make medical or financial decisions on his own. Both of the proposed fiduciaries are qualified. They're able to do it. They're willing to do it. They've also been nominated by the ward, Mr. Jones. Mr. Kane was appointed as a guardian ad litem. He did an interview with all the parties, and he's okay with the appointments. We were in front of Judge Rapley a few weeks ago. We went through this process, and then after she had made her ruling, she realized that she knew the family and then disqualified herself and then set aside those orders. We're asking the court simply to appoint Brian Jones as guardian, appoint Donald Jones as conservator. Both are suitable, willing to serve. That's all.
Mr. Kane?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe Mr. McCord has stated the matter accurately. When he said I spoke to all the parties, I'm not entirely sure that's true. I did speak with Don, Brian, and Jeff. I can't recall if I spoke with David or not when he talks about interested parties. And I did speak with Donald Gene Jones Sr., although it was not that much of a conversation. He couldn't really understand me. I went out to the Ganton facility in Spring Arbor where he is staying. We both had to wear masks, and he just had a lot of trouble understanding me. I left him both the PC 626 and 668 explaining his rights in these matters. And the caregiver indicated that he was able to read them. I gave him my phone number and so forth. So if he had opposition, he has failed to express any opposition. As Mr. McCord indicates, there is, as indicated by the physician's report, a need for both guardian and conservator. He does have assets that need protection. And I did speak with both Don, the proposed conservator, who apparently has some background in financial matters, and Brian, who has some background in medical matters. They both seem to be appropriate choices. So yes, at the last hearing, as I said, I think the petitions are both appropriate and should be granted. And that's where we left off.
So is there any opposition to the requested appointments? I see that Judge Rapley had previously granted both the appointment of the guardian and the appointment of the conservator, but then later set aside her orders because she realized she's acquainted with one or more of the parties. I guess I probably, if that had been me, I would have just left it in place and left it up to somebody to object. But here we are. Do any of the persons present at the hearing today oppose these appointments?
I do, Your Honor.
And that was Jeffrey Jones that just spoke?
Yes, sir.
All right. What is your objection?
Well, my objection is that I feel that maybe the court, if it is within its power, should appoint a third party non-family member to be these positions. Because I don't think my brothers have my father's actual best interest in heart.
And specifically, do you have any concerns about their honesty or integrity?
Not necessarily that, but they've left my dad just sitting out there, and I know the COVID got in the way here, but even before that, he's just sitting in a room, and they don't take him anywhere. He can't go anywhere. We can't go get him and take him anywhere. And it's been their medical opinion that he can't be taken anywhere. We nearly had him in the car one day, and my brother called the police on me, and it made him put him back in the room, and he was all but ready to sit down in the car and go for a ride with us, which he enjoys doing. My brothers wouldn't know that because they were never around, but.
So I'm assuming whatever care home he's in has restrictions on who can come and who can go.
They're restricted by my brothers sent them letters and told them that no one was to take him from that facility, regardless.
In a private vehicle, Your Honor. The problem was not taking him. The problem was physically lifting him and trying to put him in some vehicle. If he had showed up in a properly equipped wheelchair, my dad is wheelchair bound, then that would have been safer. And that's specifically what those letters say. So I think there's a little bit of spin here that my brother's doing, and I'll let Corey handle that. So that's just my opinion. I am an RN. It was also brought up here at the care home that they did not believe it was safe for Jeff to take Dad that day because of physically picking him up and throwing him in a vehicle like a sack of potatoes. So that was it. So if Corey McCord would like to chime in here and handle this, that would be great.
Your Honor, there is some animosity between the siblings. You have four siblings. You have Brian, Don, and David. I guess I would call them on one side, Jeff on the other. Brian, Don, and David believe that Jeff has been misappropriating and, quite frankly, bluntly stealing from dad. I would note that Jeff has been charged with a felony. It's pending in the district court in front of Judge Claren right now in the very early stages for embezzlement of I believe it's embezzlement from an older adult, or I can't quite remember which embezzlement charge it, but it's essentially the one where they're indicating that a child or somebody is ripping off a parent. That case is pending downstairs. It was set for a preliminary exam today. I believe that got adjourned. Don, David, and Brian all support Brian and Don being appointed. I think it's appropriate. I don't think there's any doubt there's some tension there, but there's no indication that Brian or Don are not qualified or unwilling to serve.
All right, Mr. Jeffrey Jones, your concerns are noted. However, I do not believe those concerns call into question the ability of either proposed guardian or conservator to serve. So I'm going to grant both petitions. Mr. McCord, you will submit orders to that effect?
I will, Your Honor. I thought there were some in the files, but I don't, without being in the courthouse, it's a little weird. There should have been some electronically submitted to the probate register, but I can redo that.
Look, let me just double check.
I have them available now to submit electronically if the court wants me to.
You can do that. Why don't you email them to my law clerk,
Okay.
P. Veldkamp at mijackson.org.
Is that VALCAMP?
VELDKAMP.
All right, got it.
All right.
Emailing those over right now.
As soon as I receive those, I will sign them. Thank you, gentlemen. That concludes our hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Okay, next up are the matters of the Oliver Ruff minors, Amariah, Amariana, and Antonasia. Did I get those names right? Ma'am, you're nodding your head. Would you identify yourself, please?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. My name is Leela Sills. I work for Jackson County CPS.
Oh, okay. I should have known that. Now I'll know when I look at the screen. Okay, and I have somebody that is present. It says JCCAC Advocacy. Would you state your name, please?
Yolanda Oliver.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Okay, we have petitions here today for your appointment as guardian of your 3 grandchildren. Ma'am, before I go any farther, let me express to you my sincere sympathies for your loss. I can't begin to imagine how much pain you and your grandchildren have been through in the past few months, and I'm just so sorry for you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so I know at the time the petitions were filed that the father was incarcerated. We checked yesterday, and it does not appear that he is in jail any longer, but I don't see him present for the hearing today. Have you been in contact with him, Ms. Oliver?
No, the last I heard from him, he was in jail.
Yeah, well, it appears he got out. He was not on the jail roster yesterday when we checked. He was notified of the hearing while he was in jail, I believe. Is that correct, Emily? All right. So notice was sent. So, Ms. Oliver, let me ask you: have your grandchildren lived with or had parenting time with their father in the recent past?
They lived with him when my daughter was living, and they stayed there with him. But as far as after that, no. Since she's been passed, no.
Well, I understand that obviously they wouldn't have been with him while he's in jail, but before he was incarcerated, they lived with him?
They lived with their mom, and he lived there also.
Do you know where he's living now?
No, I thought he was still in jail.
Is he capable of caring for his children?
I don't think so, because he got a drinking problem, and when he drinks, he's abusive, and he chooses to make wrong decisions. And the two oldest girls, they don't want to be with him. His little daughter, she okay because she only 6. But the oldest two, they know he can't take care of them properly. They don't want to live with him anyway.
Peter, would you go check the hallway? I saw a gentleman sitting out there when I came in this morning. I obviously don't know who he is, but I just want to make sure he's not sitting out there waiting to be invited in. So I'm judging from the names that these are all girls?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I wasn't totally sure with the last one. That's why I asked.
One's out there.
All right. We checked the hallway. He's not present. Ms. Sills, you conducted a home study of the proposed guardian's home?
I did, Your Honor.
I have a copy of that in each file. Is everything in it true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you have any concerns whatsoever with Ms. Oliver as a guardian for her 3 grandchildren?
I do not.
And I believe I read in your report you actually did speak with the girl's father?
I did prior to, because I had the investigation, the CPS investigation concerning what had happened to Shamika. So I had to make contact with Antoine. And at that time, Antoine Ruff was not incarcerated. This was prior to the funeral of Shamika. He did not have his own residence to be able to provide care and custody properly to his children. So he was always in agreement with Solanda, obviously caring for his children. He was just concerned and wanting to make sure that he didn't lose his parental rights. I advised him at that time he wouldn't be losing his parental rights. He could still communicate with Ms. Solanda Oliver in regards to visitation with his children. And Ms. Solanda was open to that, to allow that for him to visit with his children. But then after the funeral, I believe that he was put in jail. And I was not aware that he was released from jail either. The last that I had contact with him was on June 29th when we spoke with him. And I was still under the impression as well that he was still in Jackson County Jail, even at the time of when I wrote the report.
Yes, we checked the jail roster yesterday and he was not there.
Well, he is
Okay.
now.
No,
I would assume that he was probably released recently.
hold on. I don't know who checked it yesterday, but I'm hearing now that he is in jail.
Oh,
He has a right to participate in this hearing. That's why I asked this question yesterday.
Yesterday he wasn't, that's what Julie said.
Oh, he got picked back up again?
I have no idea, all I know is yesterday she said he was not, and I just looked right now and he is. I don't know.
And he is at Channer Road, probably?
No, he's next door.
Can you get me the booking number for next door? And let's see if we can't get him brought to the Zoom hearing.
Oh, I thought you had it up
I,
there. 8512.
what's his name?
Antoine Ruff.
Antoine Ruff?
Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Shannon, court clerk for Judge LaFlamme's. I handle.
What did I say? 8512?
Apparently I dialed your number.
Oh,
What is it?
I think it's 791. 79. I don't know, I thought you wrote it down, that's why.
If I did, I wrote it on something that I tossed. So you're not sure what it is?
I think it's it's either 7911 or 7912, I'm not positive.
Thank you for calling the Jackson County Jail Inmate Information System. Para español.
Jail booking.
Good morning, this is Judge LaFlamme. I just learned that an interested party in a court proceeding that I'm conducting this morning is in jail, a Mr. Antoine Ruff. Is it possible to have him brought in to my, to the Zoom room so that he can zoom into my hearing?
Sure. Okay. I'll locate him and do that.
All right, we'll sit tight here and wait for him to show up. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. When I have, I'm all hung up here now. I rolled over my robe and I'm stuck now. There we go. All right, we're gonna have to sit tight and wait for him to be brought.
not a problem, Your Honor.
It takes a few minutes. They have to get him out of his cell and then take him to the room where the video camera is located so that they can dial into my meeting room. So as soon as he shows up, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So while we're waiting, Ms. Sills, I'm assuming you spoke with each of the three girls?
Yes, sir, I did.
And all three of them wish to live with their grandmother under the guardianship?
Yes, sir, they do.
for Jones.
Oh, thank you. I'll go ahead and sign these now.
Ms. Oliver has been an active grandparent since these children were born. She's always been in the children's life. So they're used to spending time with her, visiting with her, having overnights with her. So this was nothing out of the ordinary other than the fact that unfortunately they lost their mother and now they're going to be with their grandmother indefinitely at this time.
Double check something here. Okay. Here we go. No, that's the next hearing. Emily, could you approach, please? So I'm comparing Mr. McCord's order with the one that Judge Rapley previously signed. And I noticed that she whited out that the attorney guardian ad litem for the individual is discharged. Do they remain? She whited those out, and then she wrote in here that the estate shall pay the LGAL fees within 14 days.
She usually does write in something there for the GAL fees, but I've never seen her discharge the guardian ad litem before,
Okay.
personally.
I'm gonna do what she did.
Okay, sounds good.
Let me take us off the record until we start.
Yeah, you could take us
Okay,
off the
this
record.
beeping is driving me crazy.
Go ahead. That's what I thought I did. Okay. Right files. And you get these back. Shannon, put us back on the record. I'm going to call the next case while I'm waiting for the jail to show up. Okay, this is the matter of Georgia Edmonds. Mr. Rick, please state your appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Stephen Rick on behalf of Personal Representative Karen Gant.
Sorry, who is that again, Your Honor?
Stephen Rick.
Rick. Gotcha.
Okay, and we're here for, it looks like, objections to the accounting.
Is Ms. Glenn present or online, Your Honor?
No one else is present in the hearing except you.
Okay. Well, there's been no accounting. We haven't been at this a year yet, so I think she's just objecting to, well, I'll let you read what she's written there, but she's objecting to the attorney fee arrangement, apparently.
I believe that was approved some time ago, was it not?
Yes, it was. And she's talked with you before about this claim that there was a $10,000 promissory note that I've signed, which I haven't. The only agreement is the written fee agreement the court has in its file.
All right, well, this matter was scheduled for 9:30. It's now 9:41. The objector has not appeared. It does not appear that any of the objections that she filed, there's one, it says objection MCR 1.109, MCR 5.313. There's another one with the same title, but it looks like it addresses some additional information. A third one with the same title. Maybe this is all just intended to be a single objection. The objections appear to be without merit. I'm going to dismiss all of them. Mr. Rick, you'll submit an order to that effect?
Yes, Your Honor, I will.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to try the jail one more time just to make sure they're not having trouble dialing in. And I'm sorry, Shannon. What was that number?
Can you write it down?
I can, but I don't have anything to write it on that's going to stay. I need a sticky note or something, and I don't have any.
7912. 7912 or 7911. There's.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jackson County Sheriff's Office, Booking Deputy Addy.
Hi, this is Judge LaFlamme, just checking to see if you're making any headway with my...
Let me check with your, hold on here, let me check, Judge, because our computers just came up, so we're a little chaotic right now.
Okay, thank you.
4 to 3. How you coming with Judge LaFlamme's guy? Signing in right now. Clear, I'll advise him. He should be signing in right now, sir.
He's not in my waiting room. That's why I think you might have dialed the wrong room.
Okay, I'll go up there and I'll make sure myself.
Can I give you the number just
Sure.
To make sure? Yeah,
Go ahead.
my meeting ID is 929
Okay.
993 7935.
A password, sir, or you?
There's no password.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's what I thought. All right, so that is Wesley Booking. And while I'm writing, do you happen to know Chanter Road Booking? All right. It would be nice to have that in case I ever need to call them. And it looks like I just let somebody into my courtroom with a telephone extension beginning with 989.
Yeah, Delisa Glenn.
All right, I heard that matter at about 9:40, and I dismissed all of the objections as being without merit.
Well, Your Honor, why do you do that? Because that's not true. There is merit to those, to
Ma'am,
that
I've
claim.
already called that case and ruled on it. You got here too late. Okay, sir, you are Antoine Ruff?
Yes.
Okay, we had some conflicting information as to whether or not you were still in jail. Have you been in jail consistently for the past few weeks?
Yes.
Okay. So we're here on the matter of your three daughters and the appointment of their grandmother, the mother's mother, as the guardian. I was about to approve all the guardianships when we decided to double check on. We had information that you were no longer at the jail yesterday, so my apologies. I've received information both from the grandmother and from the CPS worker who investigated, having no objection to this home. Clearly, you're incarcerated, so you're not able to take custody of your daughters. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, though.
Do you have any objection to Ms. Oliver being appointed guardian for your girls?
I just got a question. So that's just like giving my kids up or something to their granny? If that's what you're talking about?
No. While the guardianship is in place, she is the one that will be able to exercise parental rights. Right. If you reach a point where you're able to provide for your children, and you can file a petition to terminate the guardianship at that time, and I will certainly conduct a hearing, and if you've got a place for them and you're able to care for them safely, I would entertain your petition to terminate the guardianship. Right now, they need somebody who's in a position to be able to make decisions for them, medical, etc., school. And from all accounts, it looks like their grandmother is a suitable person to do that.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. I'm just want to make sure that I'm able to be in my kids' life too. I don't have no problem giving them to their grandma. I don't have no problem. When I'm ready for my kids, I just want my kids. That's it. Other than that, I have no problem giving them to her or doing none of that. I just want to be in my kids' life too. That's it.
All right, fair enough. So I do find in the case of each child, Amarijah, Mariana, and Antonasia, that they are indeed in need of a guardian because of their mother being deceased and their father being incarcerated.
Right.
I am going to grant the petitions. She will be appointed full guardian. I will issue letters of authority, Ms. Oliver, that you will be able to show to the school or to the hospital or doctor's office or wherever it is that you need to show that you have the ability to give consent on behalf of your granddaughters.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to approve each of these. That concludes our hearing. Thank you all. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, Mom.
All right, Antoine. Love you.
Love you too.